Hey guys, this is Cameron with Emerson House Buyers. Every week I deconstruct and consolidate questions, topics that I find beneficial for you guys, new investors, some experienced investors. These will be beneficial for you guys. So this week I've had a lot of questions about direct mail. What do you mail? How frequently do you mail? Who do you use to do your mailings? Where do you get the list? What lists are you mailing? So I just wanted to spend a few minutes talking about some of the direct mail. So direct mail is, for some of those who don't know, it's basically just direct mailing. It's letters in the mail. So you can send letters, postcards, yellow letters, white letters. I've seen all sorts of interesting bits and pieces sent out. So it's basically just mailing directly to the client. The mailings that I've done are yellow letters and white letters. So I'm not an expert here, guys, but again, I will walk you through some of the things that have helped me and try to add some value that way that have allowed me to buy or own over $1 million in real estate in just a year. I don't say that to brag. I just say that to let you know I'm out there on the streets actually doing the work, buying houses. I'm involved. So I'm not just one of those guys telling you how I think it works, I'm telling you what works, what's worked for me. So who do I mail to? So I mail to absentee owners and owners that have high equity or over the age of 45 and fit in my farm area. So, and have owned the home over 3 years. So absentee owners, these are landlords, maybe somebody that inherited a property. They just have moved. Their address does not match the property address. And then, like I said, the high equity owners, so owners who own over 40%, have over 40% equity in the house. They're over the age of 45. They've lived in the house over 3 years, and they're in my farm area, the zip codes that I like. So how do I get that list? That's another question I get. So I use listsource.com. You can go in there and select all the parameters I talked about and even more if you want, and they'll give you a list of names, and then you send that over to your marketing group or whoever's going to do your marketing for you. I have one local here I use in Houston, but if you guys have any other questions of who I use, just shoot me an email or send me a text message. Let me know, or respond below to this video. That will be most beneficial for everybody. So I get all the names from ListSource. I use I use those criteria. Like I said, there are many more you can choose from. I try to keep it pretty simple. Don't want to overcomplicate things. Then when I get that list, I send out a yellow letter or a white letter. Most recently, a white letter has worked. And what do I say when I mean yellow letter and white letter? If you think about legal pad and just writing on it, that's what a yellow letter is, where it just says, I want to buy your house fast for cash. I've got away from those and I'm doing more of the white letters now. The yellow letters I've absolutely bought houses with. I'm just kind of testing and doing some more experimentation with the white letters, a little more formal letter. So I get that, I send that out to the owners, and then the other question I get is how frequently do you mail? So I mail once a month. So I hit them once a month with the same exact white letter. Some people switch it up, go postcard, letter, yellow letter, whatever else there are out there. There's all sorts of. I received one that was actually a fake check it said for cash on the property that I own, the absentee I own. So there's all sorts of nifty ways. Don't get too overcomplicated with it. Get your list and mail it at least 3 times. So you want to at least touch them 3 times. If you mail once, twice, and it doesn't work, don't freak out. People get crazy. They start changing things. They buy a new list, and they never get in the groove. They never let it do its work. The first time you touch somebody, think about how many times you've thrown American Express or Discover or Chase envelopes out. How many times do you think they mailed you? And it only takes one time to pick it up where you're in the right state of mind or the right situation, and you say, okay, I'm going to apply for the Chase credit card. They just happen to mail it to me today. It wouldn't work, or excuse me, they wouldn't mail it if it doesn't work. They mail you all the time, and that's why. Because eventually, you're gonna come into a situation where you need a credit card. Hopefully that day, American Express or Chase or Discover has sent you a credit card. So just like that, just like those credit cards, it works the same way when you're buying houses. Situations come up, properties are inherited, people die, people lose jobs. There are other situations that come to be. Maybe somebody needs a loan, big repair comes up on the house and they can't afford it. You never know. Somebody wants to change school districts. I mean, you just never know. And that day you send them a letter and they're like, wow, boom, I'm gonna call this guy or gal. So definitely at least 3 times you want to mail them. So let's kind of recap on everything I just said. So how do I get the list to mail? I go to list source. I filter criteria for absentee landlords or absentee owners, which are landlords, and high equity homeowners. So people who have over 40% equity, they've owned the house at least 3 years, and they're over the age of 45. And they're in, like I said, their target zip code. These are all in my target zip codes. What kind of mailings do I do? What do I mail to this group that I have, this list of people that I have from ListSource? I then mail them a white letter at least 3 times, always keeping track of my numbers, always testing them. And like I said, I mail it 3 times. If I change something, I note that change, I keep track of that change, and I mail it at least 3 times. So guys, that's about, it's not that complicated. That's about as simple as it gets. It's and who I mail through. The only reason I didn't mention who I mail through, it's not some secret or what have you. It's just I'm changing companies right now, and I don't want to give a recommendation on a company I haven't used, and I don't know how they're going to be. So I don't want to give you guys a recommendation. Go out there and test them out and have some bad experience. So if I have a bad experience, I'm not going to mention. I don't want to mention it to you. If I have a great one, I will definitely mention it to you guys. Let you know who it is. So guys, that's how I do my direct mail, and that's how I bought a dozen houses. Well, about half a dozen houses through white letters, using that same simple strategy. Being consistent and tracking your numbers is also crucial, as well as follow up. But don't waste your time or your money if you're not going to do 3 mailings and you're not going to track your numbers. It will be a waste of your time. Just don't even send out any letters. If you're going to send out letters, you want to be the type of person that's going to follow up, that's going to do it consistently, that's going to stay focused and be diligent and track your numbers. If you can't do that, don't waste your time on direct mail. But again, guys, hope this was helpful. I've laid out exactly how I buy it, everything from how I buy the list to who I mail to and how I mail and how frequently. So if you have any other questions, please let me know. If this has helped you out and you guys have actually used this, comment below. I'd love to hear any results you guys have. Also, if you use some different strategy, if there's another investor out there that you guys are using postcards or whatever and found some good results, please share that below. And like I said, please keep the open lines of communication for something else you guys want me to talk into or talk about. Just let me know. And thanks, guys. Appreciate you watching.